Everything is organized like this. Why do we do the things we do? Why do you react the way you do to something your partner or your friend or your spouse did? Look beyond. Prepare your mind to see beyond cause and effect. This is what created this problem. It doesn't stop, so we have to start now. The yoga of the indestructible Brahman. Verse 1 through 7 are answers to Arjuna's 7 questions on Brahma, Adhyatma, Karma, etc. So we'll start with Mala chanting the first 7 verses.
Arjuna uvacha kim tad brahma kim adhyatmam kim karma purushottama adhibhutancha kim proktam adhidaivam kim uchyate adhiyajna katham kotra dehesmin madhusudana प्रयाणकाले च कथं नीयोऽसि नियतात्मभिः श्रीभगवानुवाच अक्षरं ब्रह्म परमं स्वभावोऽध्यात्ममुच्यते भूतभावोद्भवकरो विसर्गः कर्मसंज्ञितः अधिभूतं क्षरो भाव पुरुषश्चाधिदैवतम् अधियज्ञोऽहमेवात्र देहे देहभृतां वर अन्तकाले च मामेव स्मरन् मुक्त्वा कलेवरं यप्रयाति समद्भावं याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः यं यं वापि स्मरन् भावं त्यजत्यन्ते कलेवरं तं तं एवैति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भावभावितः तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु मामनुस्मर युध्य च मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्मामे वैश्यस्य संशयम्.
All right. My system was already on alert, just to share, because when I read the beginning and it said Lord Krishna is answering 7 questions from Arjuna, and the title was The Indestructible Brahman. Can you see the discord in the title and 7 questions? Are you getting what I'm even just hinting at? Yes or no? If you hear in chapter 8, suddenly Arjun starts with 7 questions on Brahma, what is karma, what is action? What comes in your awareness? Okay, you do the commentary now. What comes in your awareness? Before I even read the first verse in English, what's the first thought? Come on, you be the commentators now.
After 7 chapters.
Yeah.
It's the same thing again.
In a way, yeah, because the first 7 chapters has explained everything. Yes or no? At least intellectually, we could say amongst ourselves that almost everything has been explained, correct? Yes? Okay. What else comes to you? Harsh, go.
It was along very similar lines that basically all of these have been described, and Arjuna, he's going in a loop and he's asking these questions over and over and then combining everything together now.
So it doesn't mean like he's not trying, but it still means that there's still resistance, there's still some struggle in wanting to hold on to whatever it is that he's holding on to. He's not free. Moh has not been lifted yet, correct? Isn't that the first thing that comes to you?
And it also feels like we go through this as well, right? Gurudev tries to explain to us in so many different ways, and still,
Yes.
maybe we get it for a second and then it doesn't stick, and then we again get
Correct.
the same pattern.
Correct. Correct. It's the question basket, right? I mean, Gurudev says you can put all the questions to me in 5 categories, and you can leave those same questions. Actually, the question basket could travel around the world and they would think that they wrote those questions. It could be exactly the same questions. No. But it's a sign that Arjun, and we are all Arjun, we have not yet let go. And we haven't really integrated what we're hearing, isn't it? Or in this case, let's say Arjun, because 7 questions is a lot of questions to start a chapter with. No? A lot. So let's read. Arjuna said, Krishna, what is that Brahma, the absolute, which is Adhyatma, spirit? And what is karma? And what is called Adibhuta, matter, and what is termed as Adividya, divine intelligence. Okay, our question basket is not quite as dense as these questions. He's asking, what is the absolute? What is the spirit? What is karma? What is matter? And what is divine intelligence? Okay, if I was in TTC, which I'm not, but let's just say if I was in TTC and some student would ask these questions, talk, hey, Didi, can I have a question? Or we're sitting in satsang and Gurudev is sitting there and somebody gets and say, Gurudev, what is the absolute? What is matter? What is karma? What is your reaction? My reaction, like, are you kidding? What? There's such thick. Are these questions even sincere? That would be my first thought. Like, do you really have a burning question, or are you curious? Are you just wanting to gather interesting information? Or are you somehow trying to prove something? Or are you somehow trying to run from something? I'm not saying that's what's happening here. I'm saying that's what's pouring into my awareness as I hear this. Yes or no? Is this not somehow a natural response if you're just tuned in? You could also say, wow, such brilliant questions. But brilliance of questions is not what Lord Krishna is after. Correct? If the very first question, what is the absolute? If you really want to know that, you would not have the other 6 questions. I promise you that. What is the absolute? Like, what is God? And you really want to know. It's a burning question. The rest of the questions don't arise because the answer to that first question would solve everything. Are you with me? I'm trying to say, look how we function, how our mind functions, how simple and easy it is to just keep going down the same line. This means Arjuna has not yet dropped moha, attachment, has not yet dropped letting go. He's not yet saying, okay, Lord, I'll do whatever you say. Yes or no? No. So that in itself is like, what? What is absolute? What is adhyatma? What is karma? I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to know the answers to these questions, but it has to go past wanting to understand, wanting to have information, wanting to know, wanting to figure it out. Something else has to come through. Verse 2, Krishna, who is, there's more questions. I should have known because they did say 7. Those were, I think, 4. So there's 3 more questions coming. Who is Adigyana here and how does he dwell in this body? And how are you to be realized at the time of death by those of steadfast mind? I suppose the last question kind of really makes sense because he's in front of, it's wartime. Somebody's going to die. And perhaps from there we could deduce he's saying, okay, maybe I will go. all my kin will go, those people I love dearly on the other side will go. So, hey, tell me, how do I realize you? No? Does that mean Arjuna is seeing Krishna really as the Lord, Paramatma? Could we deduce that much from the prior 7 chapters? I think so, because he's asking, how do we realize you? No, that is his 7th question, final question. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Lord speaks, Shri Bhagavan said, the supreme indestructible is Brahma. One's own self, the individual soul, is called Adhyatma. And the primal resolve of God, Visarga, which brings forth the existence of beings, is called karma, action. The supreme indestructible is Brahma. We don't know anything that's not destructible. Do we have that experience? Do we? We think we are somewhere, we operate in life. It's interesting to think like this will go on forever. I will go on forever. Whatever I have, I'll have forever. We keep searching for forever, indestructible. Let me keep sticking to that word. But actually, we have zero experience of having anything around us that's not destructible. Yes or no? So how do we relate to that? How do we pragmatically have the sense of non-destructible? We do operate with, I have a clear experience within me where I think I'll be here forever. Nothing is going to happen to me. And the younger we were, for me, it's clearly the case. The younger I was, the more there was this sense of like, nothing can happen to me. Come on. Don't you see children operate like that? Oh, come on, it's going to be fine. And even today, there's a fragility of the body, but there is still that sense behind the body is like, yeah, okay, whatever, it's going to be what it does. But come on, let's go. Don't worry about it. We'll be here tomorrow. Yes or no? You have this experience? That's ourself. It's not something outside of ourself where we experience indestructible. No? Just a second. Chats. Yes, we feel invincible when we are young and never think about our own mortality. But why do you think we don't think about it? We're not yet jaded. We don't think about what we are not. Look at your question. We don't think about our mortality. You don't think about it because who you are, our own nature, has no mortality. That's why we don't think about it. And when we're young, we are not filled with the vasanas of the world. The fear, the anxiety, the worry has not yet taken over. The ego, which operates from fear, I'm separate, is not yet so solid. So we don't really feel like we're not going to exist. The younger we are, the less baggage we have, the more we are in our essence. That's what I'm saying. Is that clear? But that alone tells you, like, yeah, people fall down. We see old people falling down. We might even see people dying. We see things happening, but we somehow operate like, well, this is not going to happen to me. मुझे ये नहीं होगा. I will not have this problem. This is very solid in us. Because the conditioned mind has not yet so solidified. And as we get older, it gets more and more solid. You know? We are human, and that's what we know and live. We are human, and that's what we know and live in its parameters, inborn. At least that's my experience. I'm not sure which part you mean, SC, when you say we're human, and that's what we know. What do we know? We are human, and we know both things. We just ignore the part that's solid in us, that's indestructible in us, because our attention is always on that which is getting destroyed. Eyes open, ears open, our attention is not in what our inner experience is, it's in what we see outside. To be human is to know you are divine, indestructible. And that's this journey. That's what we're doing here with Gurudev, with our sadhana, with our discussions, lifetime after lifetime. The supreme, indestructible is Brahma. And our own nature, the individual soul, it's called Adhyatma. But there's no difference between the two. That's a lesson that we get to a little later. But so far, that's clear based on chapter 2, chapter 3, correct? At least intellectually. There's no difference. And the primal resolve of God, Visarga, which brings forth the existence of beings, is called karma or action. So look, there's two. There's really just two things. There's our own nature, and then there is that which is false to our nature. Action is one thing, karma, non-nature. Are you following me? No? There's our nature, svabhava. What do you call svabhava? Not artificial, natural, nature, correct? Our svabhava is indestructible. That much clear? Our svabhava, our nature, our essence is indestructible. And then there's action. Based on what? Based on thought, emotion, that which is destructible. There's only these two things. No? Okay, what is our svabhava? Let's go back to this. When we're born, do we have language? No, there's no language. There's silence. Children, young children, they don't have language, but they have intelligence. If today you didn't speak English or Hindi or Telugu or Tamil, whatever you speak, you would not have language. If you were born in the forest, you would not have language. You know, there are those stories about, I don't know, wolves steal babies, and then these babies grow up and they howl and they walk on four legs and they don't have language. With or without language, you existed. Yes? You can say the silence is your svabhava, your nature. Babies look out of their eyes. There's a clear sense of existence in the baby, for us and for them. They don't have an association with a face. They just know they are, just like we know they are. If you look at their eyes. Are you following me? Yes or no? You look at a baby and you have a sense of presence, a sense of I amness. As a parent, as an adult, we might look at their face, but it doesn't stick very much because you're catching onto something else about the baby. That true? Yes or no? Are you with me? You get a face. You might even try to say, looks like mom, looks like grandfather, looks like me, looks like you. We might even do all those things, but you're not really holding a face as the identity of the person, the baby. You are holding, experiencing, feeling svabhava, nature, as is the baby. As is the baby. If you look at your face when you were young, you do not recognize yourself. Do you? You don't recognize yourself. But there you are. And if you look 20 years from now, you'll not recognize yourself. You cannot really hold your own face as your identity. We have this sort of psychological understanding that I am here from this top of this head, to this foot, and I am this body. That's very clear. That identity, that impression is very deep. But at the same time, when you look at your picture, when you close your eyes, it's very hard for you to hold the boundaries of your body or your own face. I don't know if I'm making any sense because I'm sort of talking as I'm experiencing it, my own awareness, because I'm looking at you, I'm not looking at me. I have a gallery view. I have a sense I'm here, but I don't have a sense of me. I have a sense of your faces. Are you getting me? Nod your head or do something, or I don't know, get up and dance. I don't know, something. Swabhava, we are not deeply connected to what we experience while we experience our limitedness. I'm this body. I'm what I think, what I feel. If you ask somebody, who are you? What do they say? I'm a lawyer. I'm an engineer. They describe their action, not their swabhava. What is karma? In this case, Lord Krishna is describing it clearly as that which are your actions. Everything about who we think we are, we tie it to some doing, some action, some karta. While we have a clear experience of something beyond the action. Because if I say, oh, so you're a lawyer, is that it? You'll say, no, there's more. You'll go on describing your karta, your actions, your doing. Are you with me? In order to describe who you are. And you never feel it's enough. There's always something more at the back end that you cannot touch. That is swabhava, nature. Samajo. That was my brother laughing. I could recognize his laughter, so that means somewhere. This is good. Paresh, are you there?
Yeah.
See? What are you laughing about?
I saw an old picture of Duke.
Oh, you're laughing about your dog?
Yeah, because
And you couldn't, and you can't recognize even the dog, right?
no.
But isn't the dog was little and now that he's this giant, isn't there something that's the same?
It is, yeah. His playfulness still
Yeah.
is a little bit older, so he moves slower, right?
Yeah, so his body moves slower.
Yeah,
His nature is the same, yes or no?
absolutely the same. Yeah,
This will tie back to the wedding. So in the wedding, the dad has to speak, right? The father gives a little speech,
yeah.
and he shared this story. He said that, last Tuesday, meaning the day of the first event of the wedding, which was Mehndi Day, he couldn't sleep. Why he couldn't sleep? Because he was thinking how quickly the son has grown up and whatever, and he was remembering when he was young. And he remembered this question that my nephew, his son's name is Keta. He had asked his mom and him, how
Yeah.
does this work? Why are you my parents?
He says, why am I born in this house?
Why am I born in this house?
Why are you to my parents and why I'm not somewhere else?
Yes.
Yeah, so at that time, we gave him an answer. We couldn't really explain the karma. I mean, we really don't understand the karma theory ourselves, but we do know that there's a universe force there, and certain things happen for a reason. But what I did tell him was that that he took birth in our home, in our place, at the right time, so that he would sit next to his wife, which was sitting next to him at that time.
So this is the answer he's giving at the wedding. He's
Yeah.
sharing this story. When he asked when he was 4, We
Yeah.
didn't really have any answers. I don't know if I still have any answers, but at the wedding, this is what he's saying. And he's saying, of course, this answer will change as time passes. You know?
Right. Yeah.
So
And as time passes, you may ask some questions, you may not, but you'll get a lot more answers. You know? That's correct. Yeah.
so you have a different answer today?
No, I feel that that it is the same answer. He came back from honeymoon, so he's still happy. So the answer is still the same. It hasn't changed, you know. But let's see what time and the universe force gives him. Let's see what happens, and then that's his little journey that he has to take. You know.
Guys, are you catching on to something? Like at any given moment, that's it. We look for like huge purpose. Why am I here? Why are you my parents? How does this work? You know, these kinds of questions come up. We don't really pay any attention to it. Just like that, I'm saying there is something bigger in us than what we do in life. Our karta, all our actions. Something else. And that is what Lord Krishna is describing as an indestructible force. Duke, the dog that Paresh is talking about, when he was a little puppy, has the same nature. Today, he moves a little slower. I move a little slower. You move a little slower. We're older. When we were born, we fit into somebody's hand, like like a foot from top to bottom was very, very small. And then we've grown up. The body has evolved, but our svabhava, the silence between the language, between our actions, between two emotions, this doesn't change. This is the foundation upon which all actions take place. Yeah, are you with me? It's an amazing little thing. There's short little answers. I wish I had the Hindi for this, because maybe it explains it a little bit differently. But it says the primal resolve of God, which brings forth the existence of beings, is called karma. The primal resolve, the intention of God itself is the first action. Primal resolve of God, which brings forth existence, that is karma. It's not understandable. But what we can take away is God was first and then came the primal resolve, meaning our nature is the foundation upon which everything erupts. Are you with me? All perishable objects are adibhut. The shining Purush Brahma is Adividya. And in this body, I myself, dwelling as the inner witness, am Adi Yajna. We heard all those words, but perishable objects, all perishable objects are Adibhut. The shining Purush Brahma is Adividya. And in this body, I myself, dwelling in as inner witness, am Adi Yajna, Arjuna. He who departs from the body, thinking of me alone, even at the time of death, attains my state. There is no doubt about that. So all our sadhana, all our seva, all our puja, all our whatever we're doing, satsang, is to prepare us to die, is to move on, meaning drop the body. Actually, I think we mentioned this the last time, there's no such thing as birth. No? The moment we are in a body, we're actually dying. So I don't know why we call it birth. No, I've had 80 years of dying, not 80 years of living. It's slow death. Body is born, nothing else is born. at the time of death, if the mind is focused on the Lord, and there's so many stories, isn't there? Where somebody's son is called Narayan, and the father is an atheist, doesn't even believe in anything, and he goes, Narayan, Narayan, and he calls with some degree of, intensity because he's going to die and he doesn't want to leave his wealth behind and he's a little worried. It's Narayan, Narayan. So Yamraj doesn't show up. Who shows up? Narayan shows up, say, oh, you have called me. This is the infinite compassion of the divine, always present in a whisper or in a loud echo, no sound. There's so many stories. But what do you think you're going to remember at the time of death? Happy things or difficult things? What do you think we'll remember? No. What do you think? When you go to sleep, what do you remember? Happy things or difficult things in your day? Do you go to sleep saying, oh, wow, what an amazing day. There was no traffic today. Or do you go to sleep saying, oh my God, I had so much traffic today. What sticks to you when we go to sleep? How many say happy, positive things? How many say the difficult things? Oh, I'm exhausted. I had 45 patients today. Oh my God, my brother Paresh, he driving me crazy. What do you remember? Not happy things. We process the challenges, generally speaking. I'm not saying always, but generally speaking, we unwind our day with what did not work. So, based on that, what do you think will happen when it's time to check the body out altogether? It's just a guess, based on it's a good guess, I think. What do you think is going to happen? We're going to remember, oh, the honeymoon of the wedding, or something else from the wedding. What do you think you're going to remember? Not the positive things. Why not? You know this from the basic course. Why not? Because 10 positive things happen, one negative thing happens. What do we remember more? The negative. That file is heavier. On the hard drive, the file that's negative has more weight. We're going to remember that more than the positive. This is why again and again and again and again, you have to look back at yourself and let go. It doesn't matter. The big picture, even this is going to pass. Even this will not be remembered. Even 30 years from now, I will be gone. 50 years from now, everybody else will be gone. 90 years from now, my kids also will be gone. Kitav will be gone. He's whatever, 30 years old. 90 years from now, he'll be gone. It won't matter. Duke, the dog, will be gone. Are you with me? It's very difficult for us. You have to think when you go to sleep, how do you go to sleep? Cribbing, grumping, this should have, this could have, why didn't this, who didn't this? This is an indication of where your sadhana is landing, where our sadhana is landing, where our seva is landing. It's very nice when we're just chit-chatting like these to chit-chat about, swabhava, before language. But when you go to sleep, what is there? No? What is there? What are you holding? The thing is, it also doesn't change. If you're worried about something now, you'll be worried about something else, but the worry will continue. It doesn't change. The object changes. This we know. I worried before about school. I worried about job. I worried about what kind of partner. Now I'm worried about why this partner. I worried about kids. Then I worry about what will happen to the kids. Oh, then I worry about the grandkids. No? And then I worry about, oh, now I'm going to die and I didn't do this or it doesn't stop. So we have to start now. Jo hoga, so hoga. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's just a wake-up call. How we sleep is how we're going to die, I promise. Unless we make a drastic change. No? I need more money. I have to get more money. I have to get less money. I have to get my mother-in-law out of my house. I don't know. Like, you know, these are the kind of things. I went to see, what's her name? Zarna Garg. She's a comedian. I never heard of her before. Do you know, anybody knows her? Some of you know, okay. Anyway, she's a 50-year-old auntie, Indian lady, auntie, and her humor is based around the mindset of being from India, 50-year-old, living in this country or wherever, you know, the today's generation. And so that's her entire humor. And she responds to that. And all of it was mother-in-law jokes, or a large part of it was mother-in-law jokes. Very funny lady. Imagine, it's such a thing in how many minds that she can make an enormous business out of mother-in-law jokes. Everybody's going through these, and it's just this ongoing, it never stops. You know? For me, I was laughing. I was really cracking up, but I thought, oh my God, there's an entire globe of people, if not 100%, at least 50 to 40% of the people who are talking about having challenges with mother-in-law. This is what is on the planet. You know, if you think about planetary challenges, global warming, big challenge, right? Consciousness is a big challenge, proving consciousness. Mother-in-laws. This is one of the 8 problems, global challenges. It's kind of crazy. You know, while she was telling jokes, this is what was going on in my head. And I was cracking my own self up with mother-in-law. Like, wow. Along with global warming, poverty, injustice, there's mother-in-law problem. We hold on to little things, you know, and what we do identifies us. Not svabhava, not our nature, but the actions, the things we do, our karta, our doership, what we think we did, what we think we are in charge of. And actually, that has nothing to do with anything. He who departs from the body, thinking of me alone, even at the time of death, attains my state. There is no doubt about it. He gives us a confirmation, an absolute guarantee. Arjuna, thinking of whatever entity one leaves the body at the time of death, that and that alone one attains, being ever absorbed in its thought. This is the part that I'm discussing. Whatever it is that you're stuck in at the time of death, you will carry that into the next birth. Whatever it is you go to sleep with at night, if you notice, Gurudev has says this 100 times, but you also know when you wake up, your first thought is what you went to sleep with. Yes or no? Don't we have that? This is death. This is exactly what death is. We will close off to the reality of who I am, where I am, male, female, tall, short, who sleeps next to me, am I rich, am I poor? Everything will drop off, which it does when we go to sleep. We no longer know who we are. We have died when we go to sleep. Rajshree Patel does not exist, maybe in some dream state, but I'm talking sleep, deep sleep. You do not know who you are, where you are, what you are. Nothing. But as you entered that state of death, letting go of this identity, when you reawaken, we awaken with what we entered that death into for another new moment, next day, new birth. Correct? That's the guarantee that's in verse 6. Thinking of whatever entity one leaves the body at the time of death, that and that alone one attains, being ever absorbed in its thought. Forget if we understand this or not. It's just enough. Like for me, it's just enough to say, oh my God, what little thing is my mind stuck on? And putting it in perspective, how little or how big is it? How caught up am I? No? Therefore, Arjuna, think of me at all times and fight with mind and reason thus set on me. You will doubtlessly come to me. Again and again and again and again and again, we have to look behind the scene. Not what happened. This happened because of this. Look behind the scene. This was chapter 7. I am behind everything, everyone, every action, every thought, every doubt, every confidence, every ounce of trust. I am behind everything. We get stuck on the superficial, on the surface, learning to see behind something. I don't remember what happened, but we were I'm at somebody's house, and Manu, I was listening to a session in the morning with Priyanka, and Manu had gone to the kitchen and he was cooking. We're hanging out in bed, listening to our session, enjoying doing whatever, and he's in the kitchen cooking for us. And the thought was like, wow, what on earth makes him also not hang out in bed, but be concerned, caring, loving, thoughtful enough to say, oh, let me go cook, make breakfast. It's not just mindset. There's something else. Do you understand what I'm saying? Something else that's making him say, oh, let me go cook. What is that power? Because I'm sitting here having my little session. Piku's with me, having her little session with me, and we're talking, whatever we're listening to. But that's what he's doing. What on earth is making me sit here and listen to this session? Why am I doing it? Because logic and reason would allow you to do anything else but that. But that moment is allowing something else to happen. So this is required. Verse 7, 5, 6, and 7 are suggesting, look beyond. Prepare your mind to see beyond cause and effect. This is what created this problem. Look, in relationships, in life, at work, at home, with family, we always focus in on cause and effect. Because you did this, I do this. No. Why do you do that? Not everybody responds the same. Why the boy is asking, why are you my parents? Could have been anybody. Why do you react the way you do to something your partner or your friend or your spouse did? That's your karma. That's your thought process that you've come into. It's not the truth. Why do you do that? When my brother says to my nephew, look, every moment has aligned itself. You showed up at my house so that you could in this moment be sitting next to the woman that you've now married. Everything is organized like this. Why do we do the things we do? It's not what we think. There's some other power guiding the whole thing forward. Something greater than us, the small mind. Reason comes after the decision. That's just pure psychology. Did you hear me? Why I do what I do, you decide after. The decision was made first, and then you give yourself reason. That's backwards. So some other thing propelled you to the decision. Yes or no? Do you not have that clear experience? You justify, you give a reason after the fact, not before. It appears before because you line up your reasoning to get to that decision. You made the decision, so you line up the reasoning, and it appears like it was before. No? Anyway, it's just heavy. But the 7 questions, he starts with, what is Brahman? Well, you can't lighten that up, you know. I'm happy that Paresh and Duke came into the picture. That's as much as I could do without trying. It was God's grace. Like, okay, let me help her out. What's she gonna do? Answer what is Brahman. Supriya, you have your hand up.
Yeah, Didi, I was actually, I just had an aha moment. So I was not there last time and I was listening to your recording. And that story that you shared when Gurudev told you you're trying to have a relationship with divine and or you want divine to be in a relationship with you. I was churning through this like the entire week and I was just like, I wanted to ask you more about this. But just now what you shared, I felt, I guess that's what it was, like this cause and effect, right? Like, right? I like that's not how divine relationship is, right?
There's no cause and effect in
Yeah,
that way. Indestructible. What is indestructible? The moment there's a cause, that's destructible.
yeah,
You know?
yeah,
The moment there's a cause and there's an effect, that's destructible.
yeah.
It transforms, it changes. You can't, that's not it. You cannot, with the divine, you cannot have any temporary, any relationship is the only word we can use, really.
And it's like when you're operating in this world with the with the 5 senses, it just like creeps in, like this cause and effect, right? And it's very stifling also in those moments of worry and this and then I guess that's part of the process as well, right? Like when you just cannot bear with it and then you just like let go completely, right? Like I don't know if I'm making sense, but
You can't. Look, yeah, I have to always take us back, you know, because we can't do anything about any of what we're talking.
yeah,
Nothing. We can't do anything about it. All that you can do is have always prayerfulness, right? That's number 1 on top of everything, a sense of I'm helpless, prayerfulness.
Mhm.
Second thing is trust that I'm on the train that's driving and leading to the destination. Wherever I am, first compartment or the last, I'm on that train, you know, number 2. And there's somebody else that's driving that train. We like to be the driver and the passenger. Are you with me?
Yeah.
But I'm saying you have to just realize that I'm just the passenger here.
Mhm.
The whole fight is we're constantly trying to be the driver.
Mhm.
Arjuna is the passenger. Lord Krishna is the driver. No?
Yeah.
And the challenge is this. So there's okay, whatever. Live, just be, live. Can't do anything. Just be happy. I don't know. And that might mean spiritual no, it doesn't matter. Like I'm sure my brother's long gone, but Paresh, he calls us, the art of living people, the happy, shiny people, you know, the kumbaya people. He has respect for Gurudev and recognizes Gurudev Paunche Hue, you know, that state. And when he first time met when my brother met Gurudev for the first time, he was on an advanced course, so he didn't talk. And then at some point, Gurudev told me to bring him up. We went up to Gurudev's meeting room. He was just sitting there. There were like 6 or 7 or 8 people, and each person was asking their questions. And one of them said, "Oh, I'm thinking of moving to New Mexico, Santa Fe, New Mexico, because the art, and I don't know if I should move there or should I just stay where I am?" And you just had a glimpse of my brother, okay? So he's sitting there and he's looking. And then the second person, I'm not sure, do you think that I should take this job and or not? And like that. And then the third one, so these kind of things were coming up. And my brother sitting here looks like, dude, you have to deal with this. If you need a break, you just tell me, I'll get you out of here. In front of all those people. And he's sitting there and he taps Gurudev, like on his leg. Dude, you need a break. You just tell me, I'll get you out of here. Because he could, and then he turned and goes, don't know, like, guys, just be happy. Just live. This is what he has to say. And then he saw Aza, and Aza was like, sitting there, and he goes, you want to give him a hug, right? And Aza goes, I do. He goes, so what are you waiting for? Give him a hug and get it over with. And I was like, oh my God. And then Gurudev goes, oh, another one. Halka bhau, lightness about life and including our seeking. There's intensity, there's focus, there's the understanding of priority, and at the same time, lightness about life, whether it's seeking, raising children, work, building a business, career, marriage, whatever. Billions have come and gone. Billions more will come. Everybody dies. Everybody thinks their thing will be different from others. Everybody, just like Keta, who just got married, he has seen his parents' marriage and he's probably thought 1,000 times, I don't want this marriage. We don't need to tell him. We know where it's going to go. Marriages are marriages. They appear a little different, but marriages are marriages. Everybody meets a partner and they say, this partner will be very different. I will not have the partner that my mother had or my father had or my brother had. Then there's the same thing, fighting about diapers and bills and all those things. Everybody is so sure they will not make this mistake in starting this business. My dad didn't know, and my brother doesn't know, and my mother doesn't know. And then they start a business and they come home and say the same thing. It's too much, it's too hard, it's this, it's that. I got a vendor who took advantage of me. I told my dad, I would never do that. Dad, look what you did. They took advantage of you. I will never have that. It's life. So lightness. You're a passenger on a train and it's going to get to the destination wherever you are. So, and this is something that I really, there's a quality to my brother, the one that you just, which is just go live. I'm not thinking, don't tell me, I don't want to think about this. I don't need to know. And at the same time, you heard him make a statement that there is another bigger force. I forgot the exact words he used, but he did allude to that, right? So it's not that he's not aware of that. And I'm not saying he's enlightened by any means. Don't get me wrong, I'm just saying lightness, ease. Somebody was saying that my husband said, before Art of Living, you were more fun. That's not a compliment to Gurudev, let me tell you. So you're supposed to become more fun, more courageous, more exciting, more humorous, more lighthearted, more like that Hathi. Get out of my way, let's go. No? Vishal, talk to me.
I'm feeling a sense of lightness, like getting rid of my, whatever thoughts, feelings, and just 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 being very light,
What else?
letting go. But my
Face has changed from when we started to now.
sorry, what was that?
Your face
Uh-huh.
has changed from when we started to now.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? Like you're stirred up in a good way, not necessarily in a
Yeah.
bad.
So the question that I keep asking myself, not very persistently, is it seems like a lot of this is already predestined, right? Like you said, the causality, the cause and effect, one thing leading to another, what we covered in chapter 7. So the idea of free will, except applying free will to maybe whatever action, even that's actually predestined to a lot of degrees. So I feel like I feel like Neo in the movie Matrix, where he says, if everything's gonna happen the way you've defined, then do I have the free will? So it's like the classic free will versus destiny question. Not that I have a problem with destiny, but I'm just trying to consolidate that to a certain degree, not without really trying to intellectualize it. I'm okay with it if that's what it is. Like I feel like I'm driving in a car.
No, but ask yourself this question. How much choice do you have, really? Why, my nephew's question at age of 4, why are you my parents? Why am I not somewhere else? How does this work? What am I here for? It's a 4-year-old asking these questions. Why did he come to these parents? Did he choose?
No, he didn't. I mean, it was a cause and effect. It was just a chain of
But
causality.
stack of everything that has happened today, all day, is going to somehow be my morning, right? Stack of whatever has gone on to bring that child into this house is going to get rolled out. Gurudev said it one time. I don't know if you guys heard it. I think we've talked about this. Stop trying to fix this life. You should try to do something today. Make choices for 1,000 years from now. Because whatever you're going through, you came into life with. He came into these two parents. Stop trying, make choices, decisions. If you're going to ask these questions, is there free will or destiny? Assume there's free will and choose not for tomorrow. Think 1,000 years from now, how will this help me?
Yeah. So basically,
You'll make different choices in life.
yeah. So there's free will when it comes to action, but again, what happens? Where you navigate?
You love this. No, you love to narrow something down. Can you just see that this is what life is, whatever you want to call it, and you keep doing it, whether it's free will or no free will. You give your 100%. Maybe you're giving your 100% is your destiny. Maybe you giving your 100% is called your free will and your choice. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Just live is the point here. You know? And we keep saying, because A did this, I do this. No, you have to reflect on your own mind. Look at your own system. What you are doing is as a result of what you're carrying around in your head. No, Arjun is not listening, not because he's not trying, but he's got vasanas of being a kshatriya, a warrior, and he's dealing with his moha, attachment. And Lord Krishna, infinite patience, only Lord Krishna could go on answering these questions. Did Arjun ask anything new? I'm really asking you this question based on the last 7 chapters and whatever little discussions we've had. Did he ask something you don't know? Yes or no? He didn't. In chapter 2, Lord Krishna already explained what is Brahman, what is karma. We went through an entire chapter on what is karma. Yes or no? Why is he asking now? This is not logical. We make it logical. Are you guys with me still? Or you're like, come on, please, let's go to sleep.
It's really a construct of the intellect.
Yeah, well, the construct is based on garbage that we've collected. And we think it's amazing brilliance, no? Like there's a thing, I'm just going back to my brother because he popped up. He very much, no, I don't want, I just trust my thing. I remember sitting in the car driving with him. I don't care, Benna. I just do what I have to do. I don't want to know if it's meant to be or not meant to be. I just do what I'm going to do. I'm not saying it's good or bad. There's no room there for, he has his way and that's what he does, you know? And we make choices thinking it's because of someone, something, and has nothing to do with it. It just appears that way. You make those choices because you were born to these 2 parents. Simplifying. You make those choices because you have your lessons, your place to go, a place to learn, place to drop. And everybody, every situation shows up in your life because you have to go. Like I was speaking to a mother yesterday morning, and she's going through a challenge with the son. Okay, a difficult moment. And I had to say, wait a minute. You're listening through mom's mamta. And that is actually getting you and the son in more trouble. You have 1,000 times talked about accept people, places, situations as they are. Okay? Yes, we all know this. Accept, accept, accept. And it's not passive acceptance. We go on talking about this. Correct? But it's too much. The moha, the attachment, does not allow the mother to see that this son is going through this situation. He's not really giving me hopefulness of change. He's giving me what I need to hear in order to move towards what he wants. Did you understand without me getting into specifics? And I gave the mother an example of a real example. A different mother had come to me to say, Didi, please talk to my son. Why? Oh, my son is doing drugs, and if you just talk to him, he won't do it. I say, what do you mean? Is he addicted? No, he's not addicted. Does he have a drug problem? Abuse? No. It's that, 5, 6 years ago, his father, something with the father, and after that, he's never been the same. And I know if his daddy would talk to him, maybe if you would talk to him, he'll be okay. Okay. But the daddy is saying, no, he needs help. He needs to go to a hospital. I say, okay, I will talk to him, but I don't think this sounds like a conversation about a father and therefore it's something else going on. That's what I say. Before I could talk to the son, some 3-4 days went by. I get another call. What happened? The son was stealing TV from the house to buy drugs. And the mother happened to walk into the room and he pushed and fought and hit his mother because the mother was not allowing him to take the TV to sell it. Why? Because she didn't want him to buy drugs. What is she not accepting? The mamta, the moha, is not allowing her to see my son is addicted, so the solution is intervention. It is not a conversation with Dadi or Didi. Are you understanding? An intervention means he's got to go to a hospital, he's got to get tied up, he's got to detox. So I was using that story to explain to the mother today or yesterday, I don't remember exactly, is to say, no, you cannot buy into this. No, you have to remain absolutely clear where his mind is. You become hopeful, and that makes him have hope that he can continue this behavior. You become hopeful, oh, this will change. No, it's not going to change from that. You will have to hold your line. Just live with clarity, if that's a word you want to use. Give your 100%. Whatever is happening, keep giving your 100%. By seeing what is the 5 basic principles of art of living. You cannot accept if you don't see what is. If you see what you want, that's not acceptance. No? Okay, that's a lot. It's really just a lot. And as heavy as it sounds, I'm saying lighten up. The moment you lighten up, you can actually see more clearly. No? Whatever the challenge, if you lighten up, you see more clearly. Kya hoga? Your business will go great. Then what? You'll make $3 billion. Then what? You'll be who you are. Because the $3 billion is not going to define you. You will need another object to fill that. So lighten up, ease up, be kind. Don't create cause and effect. Don't go on that, then did the cause and that, and that. It is not. You have your own lessons, your own mindset that you've come in with that you got to go. This mother that I'm talking to, the universe is moving her to letting go. Can you imagine me having to tell, or you having to tell a mother or a father or a husband or a wife, hey, Mo, this is the lesson that is going on. Because if that same thing was happening to another person's son or daughter, you would see it differently. Arjun is not bothered about fighting. He's bothered that it's his uncle or guru or friend. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? Yes or no? No? And like it or not, she's on the train that's moving towards more dispassion, even with a son or a daughter. When my brother says, I couldn't sleep that Tuesday, he's being moved towards dispassion. How did my son grow up so fast? Are you getting me? It's an inevitable journey. We are all on it. Like it or not, you become empty nesters. That's a little bit of dispassion. Like it or not, they meet their partner, they'll force dispassion on you. Why he listens to his wife so much more than me, or daughter more than me, or whatever. And then challenges come along the way because you have committed to something higher. You will go there. You don't have a choice. Dispassion. 4 pillars of knowledge will get established through every experience in your life. That is all that's happening. And that's by design of the driver of the train that you're sitting on. We don't have anything to do with it. Now that sounds heavy, but actually it's light. समझ रहे हो? How do I lighten up? I could tell you a Joan Goodrum story. How about that? Short one. Those who need to go, go. So Joan Goodrum was married. Her husband's name was Mar Goodrum. And Mar Goodrum, that I knew, had, at that moment when this incident is taking place, had passed away. It was like maybe 10 or 11 years. And there was some course going on in Northern California somewhere. Gurudev was there, and Philip and I are sitting all the way in the back of the room. Like how we're like the extra furniture that's trying to disappear, just sitting there. Hopefully he doesn't see, so we can sit here. And so we're just quiet, don't talk, don't do nothing. Every so often go invisible, just long before sutras came about, I decided invisible. And so we're just sitting there. Somebody knocks on the door opens, and she walks in, and Gurudev is sitting, and he goes, "Oh, Joan, guess who I saw?" And Joan, how she is, stars for eyes, and she starts walking, and she walks and goes, "I don't know who." She's very bubbly, full of enthusiasm. "I don't know who." And she keeps walking, and she puts down her papers because she has all her questions probably for South America to go through. And she goes, "Yes, I saw Mar." I saw Mar. Philip and I, we look at each other. Isn't Mar dead? We whisper to each other, "I thought so, isn't he?" Okay. And Joan Goodrum, she goes, "Oh, really? Where?" She's so light. She's so light. Then I think, if she's asking where, maybe there's there's a glitch in my matrix. I don't know. So yes, in Bali. "Oh, and how is he?" She asked Gurudev. And we are still perplexed, like, Mar died like 10 years ago, right? Like 12 years ago, no? And he goes, "Oh, yeah. Well, why is Joan answering like, oh, where? Like, did you have pizza? Yeah, what kind? Mushroom." They're having a conversation like this, the two of them. And Guruji goes, she goes, "And how is he?" "Huh, he's good." "Well, next time you see him, say hi." He's dead. He's been gone for like 11 years. She knows that. There's no glitch in her matrix about that. It may be in me, but that is not. And you go, "Okay, well, say hi next time you see him." "Huh, you have some questions?" "Yes, I do." And off to South America we go with who should do this and what should happen. This is life, people. He was dead at the time, just in case there's no confusion, make sure. He had passed away, and his Sukshma Sharir, the subtle body, he had not yet taken birth. He was probably having a good time somewhere, doing whatever he wanted to do, And he saw Guruji wherever he was, like he's hanging out in Bali. Maybe he was doing some weed, who knows, having a good time. You understand? And then he saw Guruji. "Oh, dude, look, I know those people. And that's the Guru. Let me go say hi." So he flew over there through a bunch of trees. "Hey, hi, Jai Gurudev. Who knows?" And they chatted. And then he came home and told Joan about it. And Joan is saying, "Say hello." This is like saying, "What kind of pizza do you want? Mushroom? Plain 4 cheese?" Light. We don't know what's going on in the universe. We'll never know what's going on. We read this thing, we pass time. I certainly have no clue what's going on, okay? Whatever pours in my head, I spit it out. And because I don't hesitate too much, you think I know. I don't know. I don't know anything. And what's truth resonates as truth somewhere deep in the swabhava, in our nature. It's not because it just resonates. Yeah. We say, yeah. Light. No? This, like, I can't think of anything. The guy's dead. He's sitting in Bali, goes to visit Guruji. What's he doing in Bali? What's in Bali? Ubud. Have you ever been to Bali? Ubud. Lots of restaurants, massage, beach, some weed. I don't know. He's having a good time, you know? And Joan's having a good time. Hi, how are you? And she's solving who should teach what in South America. She's amazing. She was amazing. And we are not so light, the two spectators. We were the spectators, you know? You go to these games, you see what happens. I went to Sacramento Kings game, you know? Oh, come on. Oh, come on, you idiot. Who taught you to shoot? Oh my God. You know? Boo, boo, yeah. Because the guy's got 2 free throws coming. Let's distract him. You play, go 100%, and then it's over and you go home. Relax. Okay? Relax. Love you. Go to sleep. Jai Gurudev.